everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I have another story time for you, and this one is all about a very funny and strange job interview I had back in Melbourne. So let's get started. Okay, so if you are new to this channel then you may know that I'm currently living in New Zealand, but we actually spent all of last year in Australia. We started out in Sydney, but we pretty much spent the first full 6 months in Melbourne, where we lived right in the CBD, so right in the centre. And we were working there. So when we first got there we were kind of just looking for jobs, and I worked as a beauty therapist in a spa back in the UK, and I had been told I probably wouldn't get a job in a spa in Australia, but I still was applying for those jobs if I could find them. So I applied for lots of retail jobs and cleaning jobs and everything as well, but I thought there was no harm in applying for spa jobs too. But they were a little bit more difficult to find because I didn't know a lot of the names of the spas. Obviously you can't search for them as easily or find out where they are if you don't know the names for them, so it was just a case of kind of like googling everything, walking around and kind of like noticing where the spas were. But there are a lot of kind of like more like Chinese and Thai style massage shops, which isn't what I'm trained in. I'm trained pretty much Swedish, a little bit of deep tissue, but Chinese and Thai, they're very specific massage techniques which I wasn't trained in, so it was a little bit more challenging. I did however apply for a few online, and you know I applied for lots, but so one of the ones I applied for was an online advertisement looking for a massage therapist. I think Stephen possibly found it for me, because he started work before I did, so he was still kind of, once he had a job he was helping me look for work too, so I think this was the one that he had found. I eventually got a phone call from them inviting me to an interview, so I was really pleased. I was like, oh great, a massage therapy job, wants me to go for an interview, amazing. So I think it was for like a few days later. Wasn't too far away from where I lived either. Bear in mind I have got a terrible sense of direction, so when the day came for me to go for my interview I got very lost. I couldn't find it. It was basically down like a little side street, but I think I kept turning up the other way because it's all kind of like a grid, so I think I was going up the same street but on the wrong side, and I couldn't find it, and I was back down here and all over the place, and I kept having to phone the person and be like, I'm not sure where I'm going, can you tell me more information? I can't find it. It took me ages. It took me absolutely ages. So when I eventually found it after probably about an hour. I was probably like an hour late, which is not a good start. I found the shop, I went in, and there was a lady there, and I was like, oh, I'm supposed to come in for a chat today. And she was like, oh well, the person they're supposed to speak to isn't here. She was just watching the shop for, like, I don't know, her colleague or whatever, or somebody that she knew. Like, she was just watching the shop anyway, she didn't usually work there. So she was like, yeah, today's not the best time, are you free tomorrow? She'll be back then, come back in tomorrow. And I was like, okay, great. So I'd walked around for ages and I'd kind of been given false information, and it wasn't the right time to talk to them. So that was the first problem, but it definitely got a lot worse after that. The next day, take two, this time at least I knew where I was going, so I got there in like 10 minutes. It should have taken me to get there, and it was just like a few streets down from where we lived really, so it was right in the city, just up one of the little side streets, which if you know Melbourne there are many. I could actually tell you, what was the name of it? Was it called I think it was on Little Burke Street. Basically Burke Street is like the main high street in Melbourne, but there's also lots of, there'll be like little versions of streets, so this was Little Burke Street, which is just off Burke Street. So if you know that, then what I'm about to say may shock you, or maybe not, maybe you're already aware of it. But yes, it was on Little Burke Street, so I found it, I went up, and I was like ready and raring to go for my interview, for like I think it was my first interview in Australia, so I was like, okay, finally gonna get a job again, back in the game. Went in, there was a man there, I introduced myself. He was very impressed with my CV, but he actually said, I think you may be a little overqualified for what we're looking for. And I'm quite a naive person, so I didn't click what I was getting myself into initially. But as the conversation went, I was like, oh, So basically he told me that they had a lot of male clients. He's like, we work with a lot of businessmen, we have a lot of businessmen that come to us. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. Like, I know some people don't like to massage men. Personally, I've massaged men plenty of times, never had any issues with that, never had any dodgy clients, nothing like that at all. So I was like, yeah, I don't mind massaging men, that's absolutely fine. He was like, we have a lot of businessmen, that come to us. And I was just like, okay, yeah, fine. And he was like, so we do a lot of oil relaxation massage. And I was like, yeah, I massage with oil, that's fine. But he kept just being like, yeah, we do oil relaxation massage for male clients. And eventually I was like, okay, penny is dropping. And I was like, oh, right, okay, I get what you're saying. How do I get out of this conversation? And I was terrible. Basically at this point, I think it is a good thing to tell you that prostitution is actually legal in Melbourne. Street walking isn't, so you can't be a prostitute out on the streets, but you can work in a brothel, which was basically the situation I found myself in, was interviewing for a brothel or a massage shop with extras. And if anybody who knows me personally, oh wow, this was a strange situation for me to have found myself in. This was not comfortable at all. I'm not judging prostitutes at all. If that's what you have to do, fine, that's your choice, but this was not something I was comfortable with. So when I realised that, I was basically just like, okay, how do I get out of this situation? Like, how do I just be like, oh, I'm sorry, this is definitely not for me, I'm leaving? No, I didn't do that. That would have been a sensible thing to do. I just stayed and had a really, trying to be polite but very awkward conversation with this man, who told me if I did want to do it, I could make a lot of money and I'd do very well. And I was like, thank you. It's good to know that if I ever need to do it, then apparently I would make a good prostitute. Oh my god, like, what a strange compliment. And I was just like, great. And he was like, we have a lot of girls that are travelling, they come, they make a lot of money, and then they leave. Like, you know, you could do it for a month and make lots of money and then leave. And I was like, well, no, not for me. And I was just like, oh, okay, well, good to know. I was like, you have a think about it, I'll have a think about it too, and I'll maybe speak to you soon. And then I left. And I got straight on the phone to Stephen, and I was just like, I went for an interview at a brothel. And I was like, I don't know how to feel about it. Stephen did think it was very funny, and like, I definitely see the funny side now, but at the time I was just really confused. I was like, do I feel violated? Am I really stupid for getting myself in that situation? But I just had very naively gone for what I thought was a genuine massage therapy job. But when I went there, you know, it was a little bit more than that. So that was how that experience went, and it's definitely a funny story to tell whenever I've been for like genuine massage jobs since then. Like, I have kind of said like, oh, you know, I'm really pleased like this is genuine because this once happened to me and I've been nervous since. So it was, yeah, very, very funny. But basically I did end up working in a really lovely spa, which I was lucky enough to work for in Melbourne and then in Brisbane, and that was all a-okay, nothing dodgy about that one at all. It was really lovely and a great experience, so it all worked out well in the end. But I did get a very funny and eventful story to tell from that first bit, and I'm like, oh man, what a life lesson. I am now wary of any massage shops where they have like a flashing massage sign. I'm just like, yeah, I will avoid that one because yeah, possibly a little bit dodgy. So there we have it. Okay, so that is the end of today's video. I do hope you enjoyed, and if you ever are applying for massage jobs in parts of Australia, and I believe in New Zealand the law is the same as well, you know, now you know to be wary, make sure everything's legit, or have a very good strategy to get out of the interview if you do realise it is in fact a brothel. I will see you in my next video. I would love it if you subscribed to my channel. I would really like to get, you know, up to 50 subscribers by the end of the month. That would be really great. So give it a thumbs up, click the subscribe button, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!